through the success of award-winning digital-first original programming like Hot Ones, Sneaker Shopping, Jesus versus Miro, and Complex News, Complex Networks has dominated digital in a way that other publishers would only dream of.
I think it's a lot of instinct, and it's also watching the trends and seeing like where are people leaning. And so it's just like focusing your success not in just one area but a multitude of areas. Everything's attainable, right? Like everything's figure outable. You just kind of have to look at it from a really broad space to be able to see that.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of partner up and you see what one partner is all about, and you're thinking like, okay, this is a cool move. I like what you guys are doing. So it's a lot of that network of people kind of coming together and growing and expanding, but also just being open to how things evolve.
I would consider you guys all a darling partner of us. We always love working with you, and we love seeing our music and your content, especially our musicians.
I think we're very similar into kind of how we function as companies. Like there's a lot of hard work and a lot of drive, and not just like, oh, this is my job, this is what I show up for, and then I go home. It's like you kind of live and breathe the content and the role and all the possibilities within that role.
Organizational culture is a strong driver in that regard. A good culture kind of promotes, everyone sort of working their asses off for the sort of betterment and fulfillment of the mission and vision of what you're kind of looking to achieve. There are a few brands that I really appreciate out there, and Complex being one of these, and a common thread across all of them is that you're putting out an immense amount of content, but it always is one voice, more or less. It maybe different accents, but it's essentially one voice, and it's always high quality. And
since we've started, the voice hasn't changed, right? Like how we deliver
Stay true.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have just as much fun, we have just as much energy, but the voice has always been the same voice. Creating something to create it is one thing, but creating something for someone, like knowing who that someone is, and that we really just listen to the consumer. We're not creating just for YouTube and the people that have YouTube. Guess what? We're going to create for Twitter and Facebook. Like they're hitting all these different verticals, and that is what success is, because you're now getting more eyeballs and ears on your content. Having a global presence, like you start to recognize that the world is a lot smaller than, if you're just kind of playing in this one field. Like expanding the landscape and getting your name out there, and like you guys do this really great thing for personal users as well, because there's so many content creators out there, and there's such an opportunity to keep expanding and growing and just kind of servicing the globe, right?
We are on the mission to soundtrack the world. So, working with you definitely helps us in that path. And I just thought I'd say thank you again, Jen. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jasper. Thanks, everybody.